Guys, we have an exciting video for you today because today is tier list day and everybody loves tier list. Now, this is not my tier list. This was made by Kuro something something from the Europe server, G2 player on Europe server, I believe. If anyone knows the full name, it was floating around, the tier list was floating around earlier today. But if anyone knows the full name of the player, leave in the comments below, would be great. But anyway, this is a tier list. I think we all love tier lists because we all want to see, like, what monsters do I have and where are they generally rated. And a lot of this stuff is rated. Some of this stuff I don't agree with. Some of this stuff is like, what? Why? But some of this stuff is like fairly, like, Ragdoll Yinhong is always at the top of the tier list. But I like this, okay, for a few reasons I like this tier list. Because, number one, it's not like S, double S, triple S, A, B, C. It's like everything is graded kind of gradually, like on a scale of 100 being the best, like a perfect score, like if you're doing like a math test or whatever. A math test, and Yinhong gets a perfect score, and so does Ragdoll, just because they're so efficient in what they do. It's kind of like the higher, generally as a rule of thumb, when you're looking at tier lists, the higher level units should be the more valuable to put runes on. Like, if you have only a certain amount of good runes, the ones at the top of the tier list should give you the best results overall that you can pick in the most situations and use them effectively. Whereas the ones at the bottom of the tier list generally are more niche, are used less. They could be great in one situation here or there, but they're not going to be as effective as the things at the top of the tier list, just overall in as many different situations. So that's how we should kind of consider the tier list, in my opinion anyway. Another nice thing about this is that we have the new units here. So we can see all of the, like this dark one, right? You guys can see that, right? Okay. Like the dark lightning emperor, which we just did a video on recently, is really cool to see there. But I think for the most part, like, we see fairly normal things at the top of the tier list, like Ragdoll Yinhong, Gianna. The lightning emperor is new, so it's cool to see him so high. Vivachel. This girl, the dark occult girl. I don't know where she even ranked before, but that seems like really high for her. Nyx, things like that. What do I usually see higher than this? It seems a little crazy. Like, I think this girl, this boomerang warrior, is kind of nice. But I also see some of these. I don't know why I'm going with the dark ones first. It just seems, some of these I feel like are in weird spots. Like this paladin is nice, but I feel like I never, even people that I see that have her, don't really bring her out too often compared to other things. This dryad here, this dark dryad, we should probably go over the normal elements first. The dark dryad has immunity as well. She has a cleanse. She has what, 3-turn heal block. And I think attack buff for her team, something like that. The Horus is a nice counter to a lot of teams that turn cycle. Nyx is kind of more situational. You need to kind of build a team around him, but he's kind of cool when he actually gets to be used. And then we see like a lot of super OP, like the Tianlang is kind of nice, but Tianlang against things that don't cycle their own attack gauges, if they like decrease the enemy's attack gauges, I know I'm getting so ahead of myself, right? Is not as useful. You would think he would be like a perfect 100, but he's great against things like Okeanos and Diana, which are very common. He's great against CR. He's great against all the oracles. But for things like Ganymede, who limits the enemy turns, Tianlang, we're not used to, like, he's great against Bastet. But we're not used to things that, like, necessarily, we're not used to thinking about things. I'm getting so ahead of myself. To thinking about things that decrease the enemy's attack gauge, like Ganymede, Hathor. If you bring that in, like, do Tianlang against that? Well, they're not increasing their attack gauge yet, so maybe Tianlang is not the best pick. So it's kind of interesting to think about it that way. Jean, who's a free-to-play unit. We already know a lot of these things are super OP. Let's just go over, like, the ones that are, like, why are they there, right? Jean, great. One of the best light dark nat 5s you can get, and she's farmable, which is amazing. Tableau. Barian actually loves to use Tableau in RTA, but you really haven't seen him since his nerf. You really haven't seen him too high on the tier list. Iris, even with her nerf as well, has made it back here. Farmable Nat 3 above some light dark Nat 5s. Isis, I don't know why she's down this low. This seems very odd that Isis is down at like 75. It's AoE Oblivion. Do you know how many passives are? I mean, it's not a situational. It's not, you wouldn't bring this into everything necessarily, but man, if they start bringing in like Perna, Wang, who else? Perna, Wang, Rakuni. I mean, there's so many things with passives that Triana, Vanessa. I mean, I can't believe that she's down this low. It seems very strange to me. So that's as far as those are concerned. Also, I think this guy should be a little bit higher. Dover is awesome. I would put him definitely higher than the light BK, in my opinion, anyway. But I think we see that the light lightning emperor, is he's really, I feel like he was kind of lackluster when I tried him out. This girl I think is interesting. You guys can see all that I'm doing, right? Okay, so I think she's interesting because she will strip. She's got a defense, arena defense lead, right? I think it's a little weird to see her so high on the list, but she will strip and defense break or stun or glancing hit. And if the enemy doesn't have any debuffs, she can still use her skill 1, which is kind of nice as well. So she's nice at cycling turns. She'll put them to sleep. She won't wake them up. She's a great combo with Hathor. And she's also a strip as well. So between Hathor and the Dark Succubus, you have two different, like, it's a single target strip, but sometimes that's all you need. So I think it's really nice to see her higher in RTA lists nowadays because I think she's actually pretty valuable. This Alexandria, though, I'm sorry, Alexandria, but she's not as useful as this Dark Boomerang. This Dark Boomerang should be higher up. Alexandria should be higher down. Like, some of these I don't even understand. Like, this girl actually, like, you see Faye and you see Ikari's used much more than this. You see he's like a budget Hathor. This guy's like a budget Hathor. He's really cool. I'm just surprised to see, like, this girl is like, she cannot be stunned. She cannot be slept. And she has multiple debuffs. She has a speed lead. I think she's not as fast. She's really good. I really like her. Like, if you think about the Fire Monkey King, right? Fire Monkey King has a defense break and a stun. Yeah, but he doesn't have a speed lead. She's got a speed lead, which speed leads are very, very valuable. I think looking at her skills compared to the Fire Monkey skills, I feel like she should be higher on the list. I really do. I really do. Right? So I've played with some of these. Like, some of these I have on my accounts. I really feel like she's higher in general. Should be higher in general. What else do I think is crazy? I think we see this in some tournaments. This guy, I love that he's here. This Water BK, because he's super good. The Water Giant Warrior being at 83 on this. Also, this doesn't make any sense. This guy up here, he's very good. He should definitely be higher. Higher than Chow, higher than the Water Monkey for sure. That guy is, I mean, I don't understand the placement of those at all. I get the Water Giant Warrior because he'll strip and defense break, which is two very important things. He'll also completely reduce the enemy's attack gauge, which means that they can't violent proc if they have no attack gauge. He'll also he's got 111 base speed, which is great. I think, and he also scales based on defense. So there's so many good things going for him. But I think it's just that these three water units are strippers, is why we're seeing some goodness out of those. Also, she's a stripper as well. Also, he's a stripper. You see a lot of water strippers here. Varad, I just don't agree with the water monkey being higher than things like Varad. You know what I mean? I feel like those are super duper strong. What else do we see here? We see a lot of the common picks up here. We see Immunity. We see Vanessa, who's always picked. We see Juno, who's apparently making this crazy resurgence this season that everyone's picking Juno. We see Perna. We see Wang. We see a lot of this. She's actually considered pretty good here. Fire Paladin. But, like, a lot of these are common picks, right? Harmonia, not as good as Triana generally considered. I feel like this is a little high for her on the list, honestly. She's not bad, but I feel like that's a little high for her. Fire Paladin, people loving the Fire Paladin. Here's the thing. Okay, anyone that has the Dark Unicorn will most people that have the Dark Unicorns will probably agree with me that Dark Unicorn and, Dark Unicorn. Dark Unicorn and Fire Unicorn both being 83 in terms of value. The Fire Unicorn can single-handedly win matches. The Dark Unicorn can attack, break, and glance, but she's not going to win you the match. I hate to say it, but I mean, like, looking at those side by side, and I've talked to, like, I was talking to Distant Array about it as well, and Distant Array is like, yeah, those are not the same level. Like, we both agreed at that, like, they're not at the same level of power for those units. Veramos is basically I know people are, like, wondering why Veramos is here. A lot of times people use him to counter Gene and other debuffs, like defense breaks, like dots, like things like that. So it's nice that he can cleanse those debuffs, and he's at least a leader skill, right? He has at least the leader skill, and he's got CC with the second skill. So he's got the stun, AoE stun, and he's got the cleanse, which can be useful. We see the Brandia here. I think Brandia people are probably confused about, like, why Brandia is here. She's got a defense break, she's got a glancing hit, she's got an attack break, and she has a two. If she can't do big burst damage enough to kill things, because she can kill through some shields, right? So Brandy does a lot of damage. If she doesn't do that, if she doesn't kill with that, she does still have a 2-turn sleep, and she's got an HP percentage leader skill. So also she's kind of a... Fire units are really strong based on the amount of Gani, Hathor, Diana, Ciara, Triana nonsense that we see all the time. So she's there. Shayna is a great speed lead. She's got AoE defense break. She's got attack age reduction. She's got stun. Oh my god. Shayna's just super OP. Super duper OP. Garo's there too. Garo, we see Garo picked a lot. This girl, I think it's funny to see her because no one's actually using her. She's got the same skill, the same second skill as the Dark Succubus. The only difference is, one, Dark Succubus has her third skill is based on max HP, because they're very similar. Third skill is the heal block, AoE heal block, but based on max HP, whereas the fire one is not based on max HP, and then the second skill is the same, little strip, and it will turn the buffs into debuffs, defense break, glancing hit, and stun, which is really cool and underrated in my opinion, in a lot of people's opinions. But we still don't actually see her in play too much, but she is not bad. It's more of a thing like people are like, hypothetically she's good, and people keep saying she's good, but no one wants to pick her, right? So we got that. We've got this Antares, which is kind of a counter to the wind turn cycling teams, like Diana, like all these other Gani, Hathor nonsense. The crazy turn cycling. That's why you see him picked in those situations. Let's see. What the hell is this guy doing here? Seriously. No, seriously. I get it. His defense scaling, he will stun and he will reduce attack age, but come on. No. She's kind of cool. She increases cool times and she will strip and things like that. But I mean, like, we're getting into things that, like, you don't really use too much, right? We're getting into more things that are situational. We're getting into Daphnis territory. Is what you guys can even see that. We're getting into Daphnis territory here, though. But I mean, like, after this, down this low, we really kind of don't want to use anything, like, beyond that line. So what do we have down here? We have Immensity. Actually, I think underrated. Cichlid is actually not bad either. What do we have for wind? Hold on. We went over the wind stuff. Oh my god, I destroyed this list. It's just I could do that though. This guy, Jameer's underrated, I feel. Jameer's really nice. He's got a speed lead, he refreshes, he cleanses. Pretty solid. I feel like Jameer's, between the speed lead and the third skill, I don't really get excited about. The first skill does nothing. The second skill I don't really get excited about. He can do decent damage with the second skill and attack break. I don't get excited about the attack break, but decent damage for the second skill. Especially as the match continues, he could, like, start doing pretty solid damage. But the cleanse, the reset the cool times can make some crazy combos. Very nice. Wind Chimera, you don't see you know who uses him? European server players. That's who uses him. That's the only people that I see use this Wind Chimera. This Wind Monkey. Didn't I say we weren't going to go through every single unit? Wind Monkey, I don't love, man. I don't love in RTA. Like, I have one. But Wind Monkey and Feng Yan are not at that same level. I mean, they're not even, they shouldn't be that close. Feng Yan is Feng Yan, right? People call him Unfair Bear for a reason. You see him 10 times as much in RTA as this Wind Monkey. Wind Monkey is just a I don't want to say budget Artemil, but Unmonkey's a budget Artemil. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. Okay, what do we have down here in the probably not going to use situation? In the probably not going to use territory. This Olivia is actually generally considered pretty high. We have Immensity. Some of these defense-based nuker units, but they do really well. If you guys saw my like free-to-play G3 team, etc., they do. That team actually beat Llama. So I think things like this that you can't see here, but things like Bulldozer. What is he doing here? He should not be here. He should not be here. But things like Bulldozer should be up higher because they are actually viable. And I was talking to Hua the other day in chat room. Hua, not Fua. I know you guys are thinking I meant to say Fua. No, Hua is someone else. Hua was at one of the a few of the championships actually. He frequents those events. He was actually in them though. But he was saying the nice thing about the Bulldozer and the Copper is that everyone's building their units with a mix of HP and defense, right? That's kind of the RT meta right now, is a mix of HP and defense. So no one's got enough HP to be anti-Bulldozer, and no one's got enough defense that Copper's not going to ignore defense on them, right? So you kind of can still Copper Bulldozer things, and it's effective. And I actually saw someone, the person that we did the video on the other day, beat Llama with that defense comp. Because I guess Llama wasn't expecting it or something like that. I don't know what the situation was, but I saw like the results screen from it. I was like, someone shared it with me. I was like, oh damn, the legend player beat by that. Also, this guy's super niche. This is super. A lot of this stuff is super. What is this doing here? Really, what is this? You guys can't see that. What is this doing here? This right here. What is? Please, get this out of there. This guy is interesting, but he's got low base speed. We don't need him. Baliger, I'm sorry, but you're not for RTA, I guess. Has anyone really used him to the point where, like, completely skilled him up and seen, like, if he has more potential in RTA? Because, I mean, I feel like the Brandia situation where he could just do so... I feel like maybe we're just not seeing him enough. And that he might be viable. Because he does have Steel's beneficial effects. I think it might just be a matter of building him differently for RTA. More than anything else. But I think I see a few of these that are potentially could be usable. Copper, of course, great unit. This guy actually I think could be really nice because I saw someone playing with him earlier, a G3 player, and they were wrecking face with him. They were doing really good with him, so it was really cool to see that. Alicia, yeah, she shouldn't be here. A lot of this stuff. I think this Water Frankenstein, you guys can't, stupid big face bagel. You guys can't see that, but this Water Frankenstein is actually pretty nice in RTA because defense based, right? If you bring a team that supports him enough, especially against a fire team, people are not really expecting that Water Frankenstein. And with his passive though, his passive is really nice. He can't be defense broken. He increases attack gauge, which is really cool. But I see a lot of this stuff is not really too useful. I wonder if she maybe should be... I don't have her on my main. I would love to be able to use her more on my main. I am almost done skilling her up on my Europe server, but I would love to see this... I feel like she should be higher than that. There's a lot... Again, there's a lot of units with passives. That's why I feel like the same way about the Light Desert Queen. Is that I feel like she should be higher. And I feel like this Water... girl should be higher. Because she can transfer all these... She can transfer debuffs. And she can Oblivion a unit. So she can Oblivion Rakuni, she can Oblivion Perna, she can Oblivion... And she's got... There's so many good fire units that need to be Oblivion. Look at this. Look at this. We have Gera, we have Wang, we have... We can Oblivion Tessarion. That would be kind of... That's kind of a meme. Oblivion Tessarion lulz. Rakuni. So... Vanessa... doesn't really work as well against Triana because wind, but we have that. But it is what it is. And then we see like some of these dark units. I don't want to give too much input on this guy because I have not played with him. But But some of these I feel like are not that bad. Like Mantora's actually I feel more usable. AoE defense break, AoE slow, strip on the first skill. I feel like Mantora's actually not that bad. I feel like Mantora is not that bad. I feel like Trinity, based on the speed lead alone, should be higher than that. Just this, I mean, the same as Raul? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. And this guy, I don't know. I like it's so RNG. Like a lot of this stuff should be different spots in my opinion. I think this guy's kind of fun. Oh my god, I've destroyed this list. This guy's fun. The Dark Harg. So the Dark Harg is, I don't know if he's good. Also, I think that she should be way higher. Actually using her, she should be. She's, oh my god, she's so good. She's so. Have you played with her? Maybe they haven't played with her, but she's so good. This Dark Harg is interesting because of his base speed, 120 base speed, is one of the highest base speeds in the game. But he does a regen. I actually saw a match. I don't know if it was G1 or G2, but I saw a high level match with him in it, and it did really well. Well, it did. I think they won, but I don't know if they didn't really win because of him. It was just interesting to see someone actually using him in there. I don't know if he deserves to be higher though. I wouldn't say he's close to like some of these other ones, but this Dark Dice Magician is actually really nice. I like the Dark Dice Magician, and I know some other people do too, but I think you have to actually play with him enough to actually enjoy him though. And then a lot of this other stuff. Man, have you seen Foi play with this guy in Guardian level? You can actually, it's crazy. It's crazy to think, but you can actually use that. But anyway, I think it's a fun list to see. But I mean, anything below the 65 is really not super efficient to put your better. Because I mean, if you want to do good in RTA, at the end of the day, here's what it is. If you want to do good in RTA, you take your best units that are going to be usable in the most situations, and you put your best runes on them if you want to really take RTA seriously and do well in RTA. So, and there's a lot of different situations that niche things might be good or bad in. But anyway, it's always interesting to see the tier lists and see and rage at them and yell at them and say what's for what. But I think there's just oh my goodness, look what we did. We destroyed this poor list by smushing everything around. But it's nice to see some people, it's nice to see some things getting, I think, respect that they deserve. At least, maybe, or more credit than people have given them in the past. Like this guy, like the Water BK, like the Dark Succubus, like things like that. And Fran, Nat 5 Fran. Nat 5 skill set. Still not great base defense and stuff like that, but Nat 5 skill set Fran. Really nice. With the speed leader too. Oh my god. I see Fran in Guardian plus Arena. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about this, about the tier list that they've created. Oh god. It always anytime tier lists come out, it's like, oh, it's a giant mess of nobody agrees with anything. Everyone disagrees with each other. And then there's just a giant, tremendous, it's huge. It's a tremendous mess. Also, hold on. I just now noticed this. What is this? No, not for RTA. What is this? No, not for, why are those even, why are these even on the tier list? Like this guy's actually, he's got a cleanse. He's based on defense. He's got a provoke. He's got a cleanse and attack H increase, if you guys didn't know. He's actually an interesting unit. But for some of these, I don't know, man. Like, why is this Wind Neostone fight? Like, I built him. I 6-starred him. I'm saying things that I 6-starred. I'm like, I don't understand those because the Wind Neostone fighter should not be at the same level of like. He's almost at the same level of the Light Bomber, and the Light Bomber has an AoE bomb and an AoE stun. Not the same level. Not the same level. I think the Wind Neostone fighter is interesting, but not the same level. Also, what are these? What are these? Please, no. Please, God. Please. Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway, guys. And good old Shazam! Right there at 50 where he belongs. I'm sorry, but... right there at 50 where he belongs. Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you guys had some fun watching And of course, everyone's got their input as well. So that should be fun to see. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. I will see you as always in the next one.